My
I don't
thing.
care. I like them all.
What's my
I'd be a nerd.
thing?
I'll be a nerd if I want to. You don't own me.
I watch sports. That's it. I ain't got no time for no hobbits. I ain't got
That's so
time for no
boring.
Quidditch. I ain't got time for Star Wars or the Space Wars. That I gotta watch the Bears lose, and I gotta watch my teams lose. That's what my hobbies are.
What about Game of Thrones? You didn't watch that?
Dude, I make fun of Game of Thrones to my old roommates in college. Like,
Are you
Ben
living
and Matt.
you're living so ironically you can't enjoy
No,
like good
I just don't like that type of medieval weird
culture?
fake
Like,
dragon stuff and space stuff that's fake as well.
You saying space
So
is fake? You don't believe in
space
space?
is real.
I do believe in space. I believe it's real, but I don't believe in the type of intergalactic travels that partake in Star Wars. It's demonry.
So do you believe in demonry?
Yeah, because that's a
You
form
watch
of
demon
it.
shows?
No, what's that? What would be a demon show? Is that like
You watch a lot of Da Vinci Code stuff?
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I watched that. Tom Hanks?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
You're a
watched
big
that.
Da Vinci head?
That's it. It's just those two movies, the Da Vinci Codes. I watch them every week, once a week. That's it. And I turn
He's got
off
a
the TV.
bookshelf with 2 DVDs on it.
That's it.
Both Da Vinci Codes.
Both worn
It's
out.
actually like multiple DVDs. It's just those two. It's multiple of them.
Yeah, you
labor
fill
and
out
have
the
a bad
shelf.
disc.
I've got 30 of each. One thing I did want to talk about is that this weekend was the 200th episode of Red Zone.
Ah, yes.
Right.
Happy Red Zone.
So 2009, week 1 was the first episode of Red Zone.
2009 week 1. That's weird. I feel like it was a lot sooner for some reason.
Yeah.
I feel like it was like 2007, 2006. But that makes sense kind of.
Whoever came up with that idea, I mean, just give them all the money. That's it. That guy should never have to work again.
I don't know who came up with it, but that's already my favorite person ever.
It's probably Goodell. Your favorite person's probably Goodell.
No,
so you
no,
thank
no.
Roger.
I don't think so.
Nope. Not a chance he came up with something so cool.
It would be Roger's idea is him being filmed in his basement watching all the touchdowns happen, and you get his reaction.
He's on that couch.
Touchdown.
He's on that couch they did the draft on. He's like, wow, would you look at this?
You don't even see the touchdowns. The camera's facing like this, so you're watching him watch the touchdowns.
Him
He
napping.
doesn't even say who scored.
The second quarters of the second game slates. He's snapping.
What's your favorite part of Red Zone?
My favorite's no commercials.
I feel like
God
we could have done
a pretty good part.
We could have done let's do a top 3, a really quick top 3. So that's your number 1. No commercials, Devin. Would you say that's number 1?
Because I think my absolute least favorite part about watching any football game at any time is the amount of commercial. Like, it's ridiculous. How are you going to score a touchdown, go to commercial, come back, do the kickoff, go back to commercial, start it, timeout, go to commercial. Like,
it's nonstop.
It makes it so hard to watch football games and really enjoy them. That's why watching hockey is my favorite, because you got to wait until intermission really to play commercials. And then I can tune out for 20 minutes and come back and watch the game.
The biggest concern I always have about nonstop action is when is there time to get up and refill either your beer or get some more pizza? Because there's so much action happening on the Red Zone.
Bring it with you. What are you talking about?
No, that's
you
true.
Refill when
that's
he cuts to Scott Hansen and he's talking about something else.
Oh, that's a draft pick possibly. Him being on the show is a big caveat of what makes it
he's
great.
on there.
So that's my pick, Scott Hansen. He makes the show, his enjoyment. I got the second pick. You're the one.
Yeah, we just decided. I go last. Sure.
You're last. All right. To make it better, it's a snake draft, so you get next and the second pick. So Scott Hansen.
Now we're doing snake drafts. Now we decide.
Well, because Nick's gonna complain about it. You know, he's gonna get all grumpy about it. We'll give him this at least for this one. It's not an official one. This is one of them side ones. So it's not an official draft, but you know, we'll give him it. Scott Hansen, though, he's obviously the face of Red Zone. He gives you so much excitement. He is exactly like you. He loves Red Zone plays. He loves scoring. He loves touchdowns. Yeah. And he gets pumped for things that are weird that happen in sports. He's kind of just like me. That's why I can associate myself so much with him. So
that's a
Scott
positive.
Hansen.
He also likes to call people out for doing dumb shit too, which I think is fantastic.
Yeah.
Like not a lot of people do that. Like they take a time out there. Don't know why they would do that.
He's real snarky about it too. Makes you feel even dumber.
Yeah. If I had my druthers, he'd be picking the next Bears GM because he's more critical of the Bears than their management is. So Scott Hansen, number 1.
All right. Mine is just the fact that you get to watch all of the games rather than getting to watch like a Fox game, a CBS game, and having to check everything else on your phone. Like you just have the opportunity to watch every single game. It's awesome.
It's good.
Second one, if the Bears are playing like shit, I don't have to pay attention to that. I just switch to Redzone. But what I've been doing the past couple of years is I just have Redzone on the main TV and then Bears game on either second TV or laptop.
Yeah. And that
could work do it that way. I think that's the best way to do it.
That works for any fan's rooting interest. It doesn't have to be Bears. Obviously, Nick's a Bears fan, but it works for any team. If your team is doing bad, Redzone is your way out of that. It's your escape out of watching that team play.
That was like the Trestman Bears. I didn't even put on the second screen. I only had one screen, and it was Redzone.
2 screens, both Redzone.
I'd say that.
One is just on more of a delay, so I can get a replay.
Yeah,
I did that for the John Fox years as well. I barely watched any of that. None of that
as well.
So
awful.
All right. Whoa, you're picking next?
No, I said all right. Go for it. No, I'm waiting.
All right, I might take one. I hope.
All right, here I'm gonna go real quick.
My next pick is quad box. That's my next pick.
Is that your favorite number of boxes?
I think the one where the whole kickoff, like the 8-man box, is whatever. It's very played out. Like
you can't. How many
boxes could you handle at one time?
The box is too small.
Quad box.
You can handle 4 boxes at one time.
Quad box, that's just that football is banging when there's quad box. And don't get me started on a quad box during the witching hour. Whew, that's like catching a blue lobster right there. That's rare as it can get. So, quad box can get you excited. You get 2 picks now, Devin.
I know. I just thought of one. So I'll have to stall for a little bit until the second one becomes lucid. The first one I want to say in an era now where we all play fantasy football every Sunday, like that's the best way to watch all of the games and keep up with your fantasy team because you know exactly like what's happening, and it makes it a lot easier for you to manage your team. You know who's scoring in the red zone. You know who's getting the red zone touches. Like you can see it for yourself.
I know exactly how pissed off I need to be.
On a good day, it's fantastic. On a bad day, it's the worst.
That is you can argue that red zone really, I know that fantasy football in 2009 wasn't like unknown. I mean, it was still at the height, but it really took fantasy football and like threw it into something even more money into it just because of that. Just because
easier to keep up with.
Yeah. And
football in general became more fun to watch.
That could be a pick right there. How much it made the game turn into like I don't want to say it.
Dude, I mean, watching like one game is boring at this point.
Especially it's like to be the Bears.
So this year I've been doing it, and last year I didn't pay for Red Zone because I went to a lot of the Bears games. So I'm 2 years removed.
Sick brag. I stream it.
Wasn't trying
it's
to
very
brag.
Easy.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I haven't Red Zone in 2 years.
That's
so I've been having to watch the Bears game, and like, if I could watch the Bears game with fewer commercials, I would be happy with that.
That'll never happen.
That's why Red Zone's better. Like, the non-commercials thing is the thing that really sells it for me.
So your third pick is no commercials.
No,
same pick.
No, that was my first pick. And for my third pick, no commercials. No, I'm gonna do at the end of the show, they just show all of the touchdowns for the day.
It's a good
touchdown montage.
The highlight reel at the end is pretty cool.
That's a fun one because he's excited for it too. That's what he hates ending the day, but he loves that.
That's a good way to end the show.
Yeah.
All right, Stove.
I would say this is maybe just a something that could be so niche, but it's, that first countdown, week 1 of the start of Red Zone, when you get that 10-minute countdown. It's Christmas morning. Oh, if they had that type of clock for the countdown, I'd be even more excited. And then it goes,
boy howdy.
Yeah, and then you hear the bell, you hear the bing or whatever noise it makes, and then you're like, time for football. And then you go to this weird studio that Scott Hansen's in by himself. That looks like
it's in his basement. It's definitely in his basement with green blankets set up around him.
That's the best one because it's that time. So the countdown before Red Zone even starts, week 1 specifically.
Okay. Well, mine's kind of piggybacking off of that. It's the countdown's already done. You see Scott Hansen in the basement. You see the Octobox. And then he goes, 7 hours of commercial-free football starts now.
So good.
And you're like, you're on the couch. You're set. I'm not getting up for 7 hours. That's it.
You thought you just nutted. You're that relieved, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Is that what it feels like for you? I think you should see a doctor.
Sweet release, Scott Hansen.
At that point, you should probably get up immediately. Don't sit there for 7 hours. Get up immediately and go to the hospital.
There for exactly 7 hours.
Taking to the couch, literally.
You gotta spilled oatmeal. She comes in with a crowbar. Got to peel you off like it's a leather couch in the summer.
Honey, you spoiled milk on the couch? What the fuck is going on?
Is this whipped cream? Is this homemade whipped cream on the couch?
Not necessarily.
Oh, it's homemade, all right.
Quit making this homemade whipped cream everywhere.
Every Sunday.
My favorite part of Red Zone is when I make the homemade whipped cream.
Yeah, that's my favorite part too.
I think one thing missed out a little. It's one of those times where it's just so random. It's when there's like a lull in the games and it's kind of getting slow. It's like a second quarter. So there's like one team that you're kind of just watching a kind of a bullshit drive or whatever. But then Scott breaks in and he's like, "Oh, we got a team in the red zone right now." And you're like, "All right, let's go. We're getting back going again. Let's go. All right, we're feeling good. All right."
Like he's a Warzone reporter.
Yeah, like he's getting pumped about it too. He knows it's boring, the football right now. But he's like, we got something good. How'd they get into the red zone?
He's like, I know you don't care about the Jets at their own 35-yard line, but I got something else for you, buddy.
We do
care,
though.
He's slinging other games like drugs. He's like, hey, check this out. Hey, Dolphins
let us
are in
know
the
when
red
the
zone.
Jets get into the 20 if they do, though. That's when I want to start.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let us know.
Yeah.
We're fiending too.
Well, I think we nailed it. Any way that you can make red zone better.
No.
Fireworks.
Yeah, I think fireworks. Or maybe
they score a touchdown. You score a touchdown and they start lighting off fireworks, and you see Scott Hansen lighting off the mortar stuff.
I think one thing, but it's like somebody. It would be a lot of work for him to coordinate with somebody, but having like celebrities like guests or guests,
like Snoop Dogg.
Yeah. So I just
always good on those.
Yeah, like have a fun guest be with Scott Hansen, but he has to work with Scott Hansen because I think that would be just funnier because Scott Hansen is like very much a red zone. He's the red zone professor. He's got that.
He is red zone.
Yeah. So if this is a comedy bit, he's the straight man, and then you just have Snoop come in and just be absurd with it.
It would be fun. That's literally one of the only suggestions I would have. Other than that, it's the perfect viewing experience for the NFL.
Yeah, and you don't do it all the time. You do it like once in a while.
What's a blue moon? Blue moon.
Every other blue moon even.
Guess what, folks? Guess who just rolled into our studios? Mr. Doggy Dog. Snoop, get over here, buddy.
Mr. D-O double G.
Machine's going.
Oh, Jesus.
We got a fog rolling
testing, baby.
What do you think Scott Hansen calls weed? It's definitely not like pot. He says something like old people say.
Marijuana.
He's got the reefer in here as well.
Yeah, he's definitely calls it the reefer.
The Devils.
He's very upset that they let Josh Gordon back in.
God damn it. He says it on air.
They'll
God
get you
damn it.
again, Josh. They'll get you again.
That's
Here's
so
this
many-
druggie. All right, well, that was good. Any last words?
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas. Wow.
Merry
Bah
Christmas.
humbug.
The Grinch stole Christmas.
Waka Flocka, wishing you a Merry Christmas with Gucci Mane. See you next week.
Bye.
See ya.